But why do
So,
you feel a pressure to protect somebody?
because that's what you do.
This is not an interview. There is no format. This is simply a conversation about life.
Daria said something else like this, that she didn't think that I loved myself. And I gotta talk to her about this but to me, this seems super crazy. Like, I mean, I'm, well, I don't even know see, this is what I mean. I don't know what loving myself, what's that like? What does that look like? What's it feel like?
Taking care of yourself,
I do that.
listening to yourself, listening to what you want, not doing things you don't want to do. Ability to say no when you feel like. Allowing yourself being weak or sick or what?
Hold on. Hold on.
What's with the hand?
Oh.
Yes.
Weak?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I can know, at my age now, like I do sometimes walk around and I look at like these young men on the street or whatever. And I was like, I don't think I could take this guy. Like, he's too young. He's too fast. I couldn't take this guy.
Why you think about that?
Well, I mean, I'm from Philadelphia. What you want me to do? Like,
So, do you feel threatened by the world?
No, I don't. It's not that I feel threatened, but it's just more of, if the situation arose, would I be able to defend myself or defend someone that I cared about? You know what I mean? Like, I was in Mexico one time with a woman that I was seeing, and at the time I had this really bad shoulder injury. Like and it was in my right shoulder, my strong arm. And to the point where I couldn't really like lift anything without severe pain. Like, sometimes it would just come out of nowhere. I'd like I pressed the button on the elevator and the pain went up it was crazy. So my arm was like completely useless at this point. And we were in Mexico. And I was just like, I don't know that if something happened that I could really protect her or protect myself. You know what I mean? I didn't say that to her, but I mean, I was like, I wasn't sure, you know what I mean? So, and now that as I get older and I have all these aches and pains and just all kinds of stuff that, and so I'm more just thinking in those terms, like, there's just people here that are stronger and faster than me. Like,
always.
Yeah.
Always were, always will be.
Yeah. It's more of them now. You know what I mean? So,
but why do you feel a pressure to protect somebody?
Because that's what you do.
Physically. Like you have a scenario in your head that something might escalate to a physical contact where you would need to protect somebody.
I think that. Okay, so I want to just put it all on this. I also think about, I mean, this is just the way my mind works or whatever, right? I think about the idea of maybe I'm too old to have kids or something, because if my kid was running out and going to chase the ball and run out into the street, I don't think I'm fast enough to do the superhero dad things that this is what dads do. You know what I mean? Like but I guess it comes out of nowhere. You hear these stories about the mom, she gets all hyped up, and then she lifts the whole car off of her child or something. And, hopefully this would kick in. But I think now it's more of the, like, just coming to terms with my own mortality, as I'm realizing that most likely I have more years behind me than I have in front of me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that's like part of it. But I think, like, part of when I think about how you determine, one of the ways you determine, like, how you feel about someone is what you would be willing to do for them.
Also, yeah.
But
hold on, I wanted to come back to this point. And so, okay, your kid running and you're not fast enough, and you're not a super dad, a superhero dad. I mean, but it doesn't define you to be a good father. No, there are people who are unable to walk and are great fathers.
Yeah.
There are people who, well, I mean, I don't think chasing a ball what makes you a great father.
I think it's part of it. I mean, yes, I understand what you mean. I definitely understand what you mean. And I think that, like, whatever level of wisdom I have, I think this is something that I can pass on. And I think I could, if I raised my kid in sort of the way that my mom raised me, I think I could turn out a good kid, generally speaking, although, like, I do wonder that I'm a little too straight-laced to, and maybe it would put pressure on a kid that, that I did all of this, like, live my whole life without drinking and smoking and doing any drugs and blah, 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 and so I wonder if that will put pressure, but I think overall, like, if I could impart some of my life philosophy on the kid, I think they would turn out okay. This part I'm not worried about. I'm specifically talking about these other.
You're talking about body, physical abilities.
The physical ability. Yeah.
And the thing that there is a need for protection, the physical protection for your partner, and to be faster and stronger. I mean, from the women's perspective, right? There's always women more beauty that has more beauty and slimmer or taller and right, cook better. And I think why I can't relate so much to what you're talking about in the protection, because I think this comes from masculinity, maybe a bit toxic masculinity world.
Toxic?
Men, there is a lot of toxic masculinity for sure.
I
to be stronger, faster, the best, the first.
No, you putting a whole bunch of things together. I don't think.
I think they're connected. No.
Yes, but I wouldn't call it. I mean, I might say, yeah, this is masculine, but I don't think it's toxic.
Hold on, can I ask you if you had a dad, or you grew up with your mom?
I grew up with my mom, but I had a dad and father figures as well. I had a stepfather, and I had two stepfathers, and.
But did you feel like you were a man in the house, the one protecting your mom?
No,
never.
My stepfather held everything down.
Okay.
Yeah. And my mom was not, like, really a person that needed so much protection. That's a whole, like, my mom knew how to handle herself, so that's a different, yeah.
And why you don't think that your partner also can handle yourself?
There's not too many women like my mom. When I don't mean yeah, this is a whole other story. My mom, you know, protecting yourself is not talking. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about, I'm going to tell this person off. You know what I mean? Like, the impression of my mother is there was always action behind her words.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not necessarily like a quality that I see in, you
Your
know,
partner, yeah.
yeah,
I
in
see.
other partners. Like, and there's no real need for, oh, if we're talking about women, like, there's no real need for a woman to be this. You know what I mean? It just so happens that that's what she was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll give you a situation that we experienced, me and my partner experienced in Brazil. First day, we were walking in city center, turn on the right wrong street. It's dark. We have a pocket full of exchange money. First day, I have no 10, obvious gringa that just came to Brazil. First day. So we are walking on the wrong street in a wrong place and time, in some favela neighborhood. And so we were walking, and then Alex out of nowhere saying to me, there are 3 guys behind us. I was like, is this a joke? You go to hell with that. I was like, no, I'm serious. There are 3 guys behind us walking faster. I don't know how but he already has this radar since he's from there. I got panicked. So I was like, what do we do? He said, if they approach, he saw some coconut on the street and some bottles. He was saying, so I'm taking this bottle from the street and you are running as fast as you can. I was like, what the hell? I was like, I'm not running it. Where do I run? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Where do I run?
Right.
So, and then we were speeding up, going a bit faster. And then we saw a taxi in front. I was like, taxi, let's jump in. And then we jump in. The 3 guys behind were just standing like this and watching us. And I was like, not today. So how do you want to protect a woman? I mean,
no,
just to give an overview, my partner is a capoeirist fighter. He's a strong, well-built guy, but he can't take 3 guys in favela. So whatever he can do can be beaten up and tell me to run. Where do I run? I mean, where do I run in favela? It's stupid plan. But there is no other option. And thanks God there was a taxi in front, you know?
Of course.
So how do you want to protect your woman?
It sounds like he protected you. He at least he came up with a plan on the fly.
Which does not include his physical ability.
No, the outcome did not include his physical ability, but the plan that he came up with did.
So this is the protection.
Yes. But I mean, it's also also part of the protection is to not allow that situation to even happen. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yes, of course. Yeah. And it's not about just using it's not about just using your physicality. It's about using your mind. I mean, of course, I am very good at de-escalating situations or whatever. Like this part is all good. Some people you can't talk to though. You know what I mean? He couldn't turn around. Guys, listen, we're new here. I don't want her to feel, there's no talking. You know
No, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not fair. There are 3 of you. He can't say that. And maybe you have guns.
Yeah, that's not cool,
No,
yeah,
that's not how it's done.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. It's not necessarily. It's I know where you're going with this whole thing. It's not just about that. It's just one of the things that I think about, and part of part of, when you're with someone that you care about or whatever, he was like, my main thing is you get away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I mean. This is what it is. The main thing is you get away.
Yeah.
And that's part of, like, you want to be able to do that,
And he would say this even his shoulder was broken or not.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So in your situation, like if this would happen, the same situation in Mexico, which is possible, and you would react this way, regardless your physical incapability to protect, like to give a punch to the guy, you would do a plan according to the thought that, okay, she needs to get away and I'll deal with the rest what's have to be dealt with.